Yo, what up? AMK back with another Sea of Thieves video. This time I want to talk about pistol or flintlock, help you decide which skin is best for you. I don't have every single skin, but I do have a pretty good amount of them at 72. So if I don't have yours, I'm sorry. I don't have every Emporium skin, for example, but most of the ones in the main game I do have. The main thing I wanted to look at was crosshair placement for each weapon. Every single one does fire dead center, so I added a crosshair to my recording to see how lined up they actually are. I know you probably know a couple of them that are really good and are lined up perfectly, but if you're bored of using the same ones every single time you play, this may give you some new options. Alright, on to actually testing them. So I do have a zoom in. See, I'm just going to look at the sand over here to kind of give the best visibility for each one. So starting with the sailor pistol, this one actually is pretty good. It's not too bulky, it's lined up nice dead center. Second, we have the admiral pistol. It's a little bit high, not too bad, but it is lined up well left to right, and it's not very big at all either. And then you're going to see a lot of variants of the same ones, but we'll go through them all just so you know. Bilge rat pistol. This one's slightly below the crosshair, not by much. And then also, again, very skinny weapon. It doesn't take up a ton of your screen. Ebon pistol or the obsidian. This is the family of pistols that most people recommend. You have this sort of tip at the end that lines up really well with the center of the screen. So you should be looking at the top of that for your ADS, not inside of it. Onto the mercenary pistol. This is pretty similar. Same weapon model, just a recolor. And again, this is one that you can buy that we won't have to get through Twitch drops. So if you don't have the Ebon, you can use this one instead. Sea Dog pistol. I think this is the same as the Admiral. So this one lines up pretty well, right dead center. So most of these are pretty good options so far, but later on you'll see some that won't be so great. Oh, here's one. This is the Royal Sovereign. So it's good bit above the crosshair, but it's actually a little bit to the left as well. Not by very much, but it is not perfectly centered, just like your capstan. Next we have the Ceremonial Admiral. So this is another recolor of the Admiral, but this one's way below it. So if I compare that to the Admiral, this one's a little bit above. Basically the same thing, but it's I did not realize this one's way lower. Scurvy bilge rat. So this should be similar to the bilge rat pistol, but again, this one is much lower. Maybe you like that. Maybe you like being able to see your target more. So if that's what you want, this one might be a good choice. The Rogue Sea Dog pistol lines up perfectly right with the tip. Left to right is good. Nice option. Imperial Sovereign, so similar to the Royal Sovereign. Same thing, up and to the left. Not too far off left to right, but it is off by a little bit. This one's just the Sovereign pistol. Same thing, up and to the left just slightly. Grand Admiral, it's a part of the Admiral family still. Coming back to that, and this one again is a little bit down below. Castaway bilge rat, some more bilge rat family, and this one again down below. Ruffian Sea Dog. This lines up well. More Sea Dog pistols, these seem to be pretty good overall. Fearless Bone Crusher. This one actually lines up fairly well. It's a little bit off center to the left, but it's a pretty bulky pistol as well. So it takes up a bit of your screen. Here's a different kind, the Hunter. A variant we haven't seen yet. This one's actually down and to the right. Not far off in either direction, but it is off center. Ocean Crawler. This one, not too bad actually. It's pretty similar to the Sailor. A little bit down below, but fairly well centered from left to right. On to the Kraken. This one's good. This one was used a lot in the early days of Sea of Thieves. The tip line's up pretty well. Not a huge gap there. It is a little bit low, but not by very much. And it doesn't take up a ton of space. Next we have the Dawn Hunter. Similar to the Hunter, yep, same thing. Down to the right. Onto the Parrot. Ooh, this one, not great. Pretty bulky. Goes up above the crosshair. Left to right is fine, but would not recommend. Silver Blade. Similar to the Evan. This one lines up really well. Deep Ocean Crawler, so this should be the same as the Ocean Crawler. Yep. Just a little bit below. Similar to the Sailor. This is Wild Rose. Yeah. Wild Rose flintlock. Not too bad. Similar to a Kraken. Lines up right dead center. That's good. Still have the Ashen Dragon. Let's see this one. Very bulky. Hard to know where the exact center is, but it does line up fairly well left to right. It is a bit low. Aristocrat Pistol. Again, another good option. Part of the Evan Silver Blade family. Was it Mercenary is the same one? Yeah, Mercenary Pistol. That family. Nightshine Parrot. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as the other Parrot one. Yep. Going up a bit too high. Festival of Giving Pistol. This one you can only get around Christmas. And pretty low. It has a nice frame. It's not too bulky. But yeah, you have to keep in mind that you're aiming lower than it's actually going to be firing. Here's the Crunch Pistol. This one, left to right, isn't bad. Or actually, it's off a bit to the left. And then top to bottom isn't bad. But it's, I don't know. I don't like this one. Here's the Ghost Pistol. Kind of hard to tell where the middle is. I guess once that piece floats down, you can see a tip there at the end, but it kind of covers it at certain points. Again, it is down below where you actually are shooting. Inky Kraken, I'm sure this one will be pretty good. Yep, lines up not too bad. Right with the center. Gilded Phoenix. Pretty good, similar to the Kraken. Has a little tip at the end. That's where you will be aiming. Seared Forsaken Ashes. This is a new type I don't think we've seen yet. Ooh, okay. It is straight down, but it has that piece off to the side that's kind of covering your view. I don't like that. But it is down below. Left to right, it's not too bad. You can sort of use that spike in the middle to center it. But Pistol of the Bristling Barnacle. Down below where you need to be aiming. Centering is fine, but again, don't really have a point of reference for where the center is. This is Soul Flame. This one's up above it. I'd even say a little bit to the left. That piece is fine everywhere. You got an effect going. I would not recommend this pistol. Here we have the Frostbite. Fairly well centered, lined up, not too bad. But I don't know, there's not really a good center point that you can see. Just kind of have to guesstimate where that's going to be. Nothing popping up telling you exactly where it is. Order of Souls Pistol. Similar to the Kraken, but this one's actually a bit low. Not too bad, but it is lower than the actual crosshair. Pistol of the Silent Barnacle. So again, similar to the Bristling Barnacle, it is down a bit low. Sunshine Parrot, I'm sure it's the same as the other Parrot ones. Yep, it just goes too high. Covers a lot of the screen. Would not recommend. Venomous Kraken, same as the other Kraken ones. Don't need to go over that too much. Gold Hoarder pistol. Slightly low, slightly to the right, not by too much. But, I mean, it's not by, yeah, not off by a lot. The tip of it is pretty flat, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the middle is going to be, but it's not the worst one I've ever seen. Here we have the Cultured Aristocrat, part of the Aristocrat family. Gonna be good. Legendary Spirit Pistol. Similar to the Ghost. This one doesn't have any pieces flying around, which makes it a little bit better, but it is down and you. Oh. Zoomed out for a second. There we go. It is down and to the left a bit. So would not recommend that one. Azure Ocean Crawler Pistol. Similar to the other Ocean Crawlers, just down by a little bit. Kind of hard to see exactly where the center is, but not the worst. Pistol of Sunken Sorrow. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Actually lined up fairly well, top to bottom, but left to right, it's a little bit off to the left, it looks like. And it's fairly bulky. Nothing to really tell you exactly where the center is either. Shining Pegasus Pistol. This one does have a tip on it, but it's actually above where it's going to be firing. So you need to aim a bit off where you think you should be. Here we have the Flamingo Pistol. This is similar to the Parrot. Yep, same sort of thing, just up above. Thriving Wild Rose should be similar to the Wild Rose one. This one was pretty good. Yep, lines up nice. That is definitely a decent option. Tribute Beak Pistol. This one, top to bottom isn't the worst. It's a little high. Left or right, it's really hard to tell exactly where it's going to be shooting. It has those sort of green gems kind of pointing at it, but those are off to the left. So, wouldn't recommend this one. Merchant Ambassador Pistol. Again, nothing really telling you where the left or right is. The pistol is off to the left side just a tad. And then it is down below where it will be firing just a little bit. Relic of Darkness Pistol. Order of Souls. This one's a little bit over. Slightly to the right, I'd say. And yeah, just not the best. Masked Renegade Pistol. So this one's down and to the left. It has that sort of red piece that's coming off of it. That is probably going to grab your attention. That's what you're going to be aiming with. But it is off to the side. So might throw you off just a tiny bit. Even though the pistol in itself probably isn't too badly centered, but you're always going to be looking at that one part. This is what, Jack-o'-looter? Yeah, Jack-o'-looter pistol. So it has a peak on it, but it's down and to the right. Again, throwing off your aim just very, very slightly. Scorched Forsaken Ashes, so probably going to be similar to the other Forsaken ones. Yeah, it just has that peak just jutting out to the side. Wouldn't really recommend. And it's aiming down below. Party Boat Pistol. Flares up at the end and covers where you should be firing. It's up and to the left quite a bit. Lodestar Pistol. This one's pretty popular. I've seen a lot of people use this on stream, but it is a little bit low from where you'd like. But again, for that, to be able to see your target a little bit better, this one might be a good option. It's lined up pretty well left to right. Paradise Garden Pistol. This one goes up and to the left. Wouldn't recommend it. Not too bulky, but not centered on the screen. Onto the Cutthroat Pistol. Not too bad. It does have that part on the right side that goes up higher than the rest of it, so again, it it's sort of weighted off to one side. You don't have an indicator where the center is. And it is slightly low, but not the worst. Onto the ancient flintlock. This one goes down below, slightly to the left. Legendary fortune pistol. And this, I'm assuming, will be the same as your LSD pistol as well. A little bit above where you should be. It's pretty well centered left or right though. Eastern Winds Jade pistol, and there's a bunch of variants of this, so we've seen one of them. Again, down below, it is centered left to right, but not really a good indicator of where that is. Pistol of the Damned, this should be the same as your Sailor pistol, but ooh, actually, this one is not. Thought it was just a reskin of that. It is not. It is down below quite a bit. Where it should be left to right, it's fine. Onto the Fates of Fortune pistol. This one's pretty good. It has this peak on it. It's actually on the back of the pistol, but that lines up perfectly well with the center of your screen. So, not a bad choice. Merchant Alliance pistol. Lines up really well, right in the center, but it's very square. So you kind of have to imagine where the center is. You can do that. This one should be alright. The Lucky Hand pistol. A little bit below. Yeah, quite a bit below, actually. And a little bit bulky on the ends there with pieces flying up on either side. But you can kind of frame your target and maybe use that. Stormfish Chaser. A little bit above, not the worst. More to a Kraken, but just off center, top to bottom a little bit. Onto the last couple, Gold Leaf pistol. This one down below, a little bit to the right. Not that far off. Cartographer pistol. This one has a little spike on the end, which is nice. It is left to right, perfectly centered, but then slightly below. So I'd say it's usable. Rascal Sea Dogs. This should be similar to the other Sea Dog pistols we've seen. Yep. Nice and centered, right on the tip there. Very usable. 400 pistol. This one does have a spike on the end, but it is too high. Left to right, it's fine. Obsidian Bone Crusher. Similar to the other Bone Crushers, I believe. It's centered okay. It's a little bit to the left, but it's also pretty bulky in the end, so I don't think I would be using this one anytime soon. Last but not least, the Carpenter pistol. And this one, again, is down below. Left to right is fine, but you need to be thinking that your target should be a bit above where you're aiming. So, hope this helped you guys. I didn't know. This was something I wasn't aware of for the longest time when I first started playing. Yeah, I don't really use pistols all that much. Oh, actually, before we go, we can do double barrel. Only 4 of them. So, Sailor double barrel. Slightly below. These are probably all going to be the same, if I had to guess. Let's see. What is this one? The Mercenary? Royal Sovereign, sorry. Royal Sovereign double barrel. A little bit below. Left to right is good. Admiral. Again, a little bit below. Left to right is good. And Sea Dog. Oh, this one actually is a little bit different. This is probably the best lined up. But again, this weapon does have more drop to it, so maybe you do want to be aiming a little bit above. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for me. Hope you guys learned something. Hope I could help out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.